Jersey, and the beautiful Continental Airlines Arena, which tonight plays host to the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Things are energized as we are set for UFC Showdown in the Meadowlands. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Continental Airlines Arena and welcome to UFC 32. Tonight marks a significant step forward for the UFC and the world of mixed martial arts because tonight the Ultimate Fighting Championship plays its biggest stage ever, and with that, an unprecedented lineup of the greatest mixed martial artists in the world.
To set things up and help us get things started, we check in with the veteran voice of the Octagon. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight, Zuffa Sports Entertainment presents UFC Showdown in the Meadowlands. This event is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board with Mr. Larry Hazard, Commissioner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to begin the Ultimate Fighting Championship!
And we start in the light heavyweight division. And we start with a man making his debut. Vladimir Matyshenko against Yuki Kondo. Matyshenko, a great wrestler.
My name is Vladimir Matyshenko. They call me the janitor. I'm a light heavyweight. I'm 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. I'm a USSR national champion. This is my UFC debut. I'm known for my wrestling ability. My goal is to fight for championship and win.
My name is Yuki Kondo, 91 kilogram. I come from Tokyo. I like to kick. I represent Ron Pancras. I come to win.
So the Japanese fighter against the man originally from Belarus, our tale of the tape. The 30-year-old against the 25-year-old, and not much difference other than that. Matyshenko, a wrestler. Kondo has a strong ground game. He's excellent at submissions, but he's quick with his kicks and his punches. A jam-packed Continental Airlines Arena. Our referee, Big John McCarthy. Let's start this night that we hope will bring great history. And what a way to start.
Well, Vladdy had a good technique there, running out and starting the action, because if he stood back and got timing piece going, he'd be in some trouble.
It's like Kondo was thinking about the knee, and Vladdy was thinking, the one way I can block his knee is with my knee.
Throw your own knee. Meet fire with fire.
You got that right. Kondo in the blue shorts. Matyshenko, the 30-year-old, in the black shorts.
Double overhooks by Matyshenko, pretty much trapping both of Kondo's arms. Not much he can do for it except throw straight back, but that really won't accomplish anything.
Does Kondo need to worry about the throw here with the two arms inside?
He could. If Matyshenko steps under, catches Kondo driving into him, he could go right back into the back arch and snap him over to the side. And without a post, because both arms are trapped, Kondo would have to roll towards his back. Perhaps Matyshenko could get out and try to mount him from there, but it's a big risk.
Kondo debuted in the UFC with the win over Alexander Papadontis, and then lost to the light heavyweight champion Tito Ortiz, but he rocked Tito early until Tito took over And one by the neck crank, and now Matushenko is in the closed guard of Yuki Kondo.
Well, this is where Kondo knows the game. He's relaxed, he's chilling. You know, he knows the submissions. He's just got to worry about the ground and pound. Vladdy's a big, strong guy, and he likes the punch. Like you're saying, he likes the punch.
You said Kondo a bit bigger for this fight, but he feels strong at this weight, Frank, and he's also fought some big guys. I mean, he's fought Semi Schilt on 2 occasions, and we'll see the 6'10" Dutch fighter later on this evening.
He beat him on points once as well.
He beat him in the pancreas game. He's a tough, strong fighter. You know, he's well-rounded. He's a well-rounded fighter. He's a well-rounded athlete.
Matushenko is yet to really rear up and start raining blows.
Trying to work the sides right now of Yuki Kondo.
Kondo's smart. He's popping the ears, trying to disrupt him a little bit, get him to lift up, maybe open up a hold, open up an arm.
That's where that pancrase experience works. Passes the guard. Defense an advantage or disadvantage right here for Kondo?
I would say a definite disadvantage here. You see his chin go into his chest. He's caught in a wall. He's caught in a hole. If Vladdy can step over here, he can do some damage to him. And I think that's Kondo's weakness, is getting mounted and being controlled.
Matushenko, very impressive in mixed martial arts at 7-1.
Ricco Chiapparelli is trainer, former wrestler out of the University of Iowa, national champion. Matushenko's really not real busy here. He's controlling. He's establishing position, but he's really not taking advantage of it. A couple of right hands there.
Matushenko has fought some of the best in the world of wrestling in his wrestling career. Dave Schultz, Royce Alger, Kevin Jackson, and now he's trying to work on Yuki Kondo. He's got his back.
Some hammer fists there, very effective. And he got that name janitor because of Dave Schultz came into a wrestling venue in Russia, saw him cleaning the mats, and they thought he was a janitor, and the next day there he is out wrestling on the mats.
Well, they kept it because usually when he's on the mat, he cleans up. And that is why he continues to be the janitor.
He threw a nice move there where he went to the front choke, and when Kondo came up to block, he ducked under and shot a double on him and ended up with a single.
Kondo with the open hands, Frank, on the ears. Is that disturbing to your opponent?
It's disturbing and it's distracting. An open hand has a more surface area, and it also hits on the canals and it hits on the drum. It kind of messes you up a little bit. You start thinking about what's going on instead of what's really going on.
Kondo staying very busy, although Matushenko back in the closed guard. And that's one of the keys to those who are good on the ground game, to stay busy when they are on their back.
You have to stay busy. You have to do damage, or the guy on the top, with gravity on his side, will do more damage for every blow.
It's better to make a man work through, I think, an active defense than a lay-still defense, is what Frank is saying, and there's no doubt that that's true. Certainly rolling around with you and other good fighters, they're never sitting there letting me come after them. They're always moving around, and that's wonderful. Having an active guard makes you doubly dangerous.
When you look at a good boxer, and boxers don't stand there and throw bombs, they're always moving, they're dancing around, they're cutting corners, they're throwing this, they're throwing that. We're doing the same thing on the ground right here. Kondo's doing the same thing on the ground. He's trying to set up a hole, he's trying to set up an escape with those little movements and those little shots.
So even when you are defensive, you must stay busy, you must stay active. With now just about 10 seconds remaining in the first of 3 5-minute rounds, which are scheduled.
He's got Kondo's arm behind his back, and he's punching him on the open side. I like that.
That's a smart tactic.
I like that.
You only got to use it a couple times, but very smart tactic by the Russian.
Now the former Russian national champion against Yuki Kondo. Currently the #1 ranked pancrase contender and the 5th and 8th king of pancrase. Good start to this great night of action at the Meadowlands.
Kondo looks really fresh.
Matushenko, once he got on top, right there you can see him holding Kondo's left arm trapped behind his back, down by his backside. And there he strikes towards the open side, but that's a very vulnerable position, Frank. You think Matushenko might have done more damage there if possible?
I think he just got there too late in the fight. It was a great move. You take away someone's whole side of their body, how they block that side of their head. Smart move, strong tactic.
Well, they come sprinting out to begin round 2 and meet in the middle, like they did at the beginning of this fight. Round 2 underway.
Here's the fire.
Yes, the flying knee, and down goes Kondo. Matoshenko was ready.
Blocked it, and hey, when you do a flying knee, you're already off the ground. It isn't like you have to lift your opponent.
Kondo tried the flying knee in the first round, tried it in the second, and a good takedown by Matoshenko.
And this is where Kondo's been very effective, is turning his side and forcing Matoshenko to worry more about control than actually doing damage.
He is, and when you're holding a guy down, you can't punch him. You got to let him go, and then when you let him go, he pops back up, tries a flying knee in. Smart fight here.
Kondo is a very experienced fighter, a very talented fighter. Made his Pancrase debut at the age of 21. Was a second-degree black belt by the time he was in high school.
And they're right in front of us now.
And I told you the karate chop was coming back. You guys didn't believe me.
You did tell us that.
Nice combination.
None of them really great impact. Kondo doing a nice job with his arms. And those punches are coming in arcing from the side, which means if you can get your arm up and forward, you're going to disrupt the technique.
Matoshenko staying busy, obviously, trying to throw to the sides into the head of Yuki Kondo, but Kondo's great at submissions. Matoshenko, has he left himself vulnerable at all yet with his continuous throws?
I don't think he's left himself vulnerable. Look at the energy he's expending to hold him down, and he's not doing any damage. And every time they get back up, or every time Kondo sits inside like that, he's got to worry about the damage.
He's got his arm
got his arm, and a good look connects to Yuki Kondo.
Behind his back.
He's got his right arm, and it's really tight. Have you seen the hands on Vladimir? He's not getting his hand out there for a while.
The Russians are strong athletes, and Matoshenko, no exception. Fighting out of Los Angeles, California now with the Raw team. Tonight marking the return of the Raw team. And Rico Ciparelli, as you talked about before, Jeff.
Passed it. Side mount.
Side mount. He's still got that arm, too.
He's in a position here to do some real damage if he can rear up and get that left arm to face and start striking Kondo. But as long as he keeps his head across, he's not going to be able to really generate power with that punch.
Now, Kondo has made it clear he wants a chance to fight Tito Ortiz again. He lost to Tito back in December of 2000 in a middleweight title fight, which is now the light heavyweight division. But he is in trouble right now with Matoshenko. And Matoshenko doing a nice job here at about the midway point of our matchup.
Kondo freed that arm now, but it's side mount for Matoshenko, but he's really not being overly aggressive here. He's taking his time, controlling and picking his places to throw some strikes. Kondo to the base.
Lots of knees in the head, no knees in the head.
Matoshenko impressive with mixed martial arts wins over Tom Sawyer, Vernon White, John Marsh, Travis Fulton. He has been good and trains with some of the best wrestlers in the world.
No knees to choke here. No knees to the head here either. That's the rule, but he can knee to the body, and he's starting to do that. Now, if Kondo comes up to where he's only on his feet, even though he's bent over, there you can bring the knees in, but not while your opponent is grounded.
Smart move by Matoshenko here to control him and just wrestling. Deliver those shots, just wear him down,
And here, this is Kondo getting worn down because he is the one now that can't lift his head. And for him to move, he's got to spend lots of energy.
Not only can he not lift his head, but Matoshenko's got his arm all the way across the neck. He's laying on him, and here he's tweaking on him.
Oh, a big right by Matoshenko.
You can hear that.
Absolutely.
And back to the double. He'll put him down. Kondo has Matoshenko now in at least a half a guard.
To pull his head out of a potential choke, he left himself vulnerable, and Matoshenko had perfect timing.
And so much of this is baiting your opponent, giving him something that he really isn't there, all in the hopes that you bite, and here you have something waiting.
Yuki Kondo, in his Pancrase career, lots of experience, and he has defeated Frank Shamrock, Funaki, Semi Schilp, Guy Metzger. I mean, he has beaten some of the best in the world, Jason DeLucia, and Pete Williams, Suzuki. And here is a guy who really feels like he would like to go right back to a title shot against Tito Ortiz. And right now, the Russian wrestler, doing a great job.
Kondo really picking up the action on the bottom, but it's all small slaps and such.
He's using the karate chop.
Frank, you brought it back, I guess.
5 seconds remaining in round number 2. Matoshenko started by blocking the flying knee attempt of Yuki Kondo, and then pretty much worked him on the ground for round number 2's duration.
Kondo looks fresh.
Carmen Electra, supermodel, and now member of the UFC family in attendance here tonight.
If you want to end it, it don't matter. Whatever you want to do. When you get down there, you can use your elbows a little more, strike them a little more, try to pass a little more.
It's clear Matyushenko is not really sophisticated with his submissions, but the stand-up game is something different. Here, the flying knee came in. It did catch a piece of Matyushenko's face, but Kondo paid a price for that. And that was a huge slam there by Matyushenko.
Who's ahead right now, Frank?
You ready?
I gotta say Carmen Electra. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
With the sidekick.
Matyushenko just moved ahead of Carmen Electra and Yuki Kondo. Oh my! Each round it started with a bang.
That hurt. He took that full force right in the side with the heel. The sidekick is coming back.
Well,
Karate chop is coming back.
Well, the sidekick will come back if you know your opponent is coming all the way across the octagon, running at you each and every time he comes out of the corner.
Are you surprised Yuki tried it a third time when it didn't work the first and second time?
I am surprised, but I feel like he feels like that's his bread and butter. Right. And I know he's watched Vladimir's fights, and Vladimir always shoots the same way. And I think he was betting on that same shot. He took the wrong roll.
At the end of that, or start of that second round, you did see in the replay, part of that flying knee did catch Vladimir, and maybe he felt that that was something that he could start to really exploit.
Capitalizing. Absolutely. Kondo's coming in with 100% power. If you can stick something out there, he's going to run right into it.
Sidestep, hit. Somebody taught me that.
I don't know where that info comes from.
Now Matyushenko here, side mount. Let's see what he can do. If he becomes more active here, and certainly the takedowns probably have him ahead. He also landed that beautiful kick, and that might be the best strike of the fight.
And after a shot like that, you take a shot like that, so much power, it drains your body. That's when Vladdy needs to step it up, and he needs to go for that finish. He needs to pull something out.
Kondo has closed his guard, now he's opened it again. And he's got his legs around his opponent. He's trying to box the ears a little bit. Would Kondo be better off to close his fist? I mean, he's got so much experience in pancrase. He's used to the open hands. I know he's been working that pretty much the whole match, Frank, but it would be better. Could it be better to close the fist down?
It could not. It could be better. The real test is where he's striking. The open hand works on the ear because of the air movement.
Right.
But anything on the canal or the back of the ear or, alongside the face, got to be a fist. You don't do enough damage with it. He's got the right idea. Even the karate chop is the right idea. Maybe he's not being as efficient with it as he could be.
Up against the fence now, Yuki Kondo. Matyushenko.
That was a nifty little thing. Start to pull, and when Yuki moves his hands down to counter that takedown, at least getting put back down on your back, Vladimir snuck a punch in again.
The evolution of these fighters, and we talk about it every time we're able to gather for the Ultimate Fighting Championship, amazing, but they're almost 2 or 3 moves ahead of themselves when they start any type of combination in this day and age.
Yeah, and you look at it's just like boxing. These guys are throwing 3-4 punch combinations. It's just they're adding a wrestling move, a knee, or a forearm. It's the same stuff. One punch everyone sees, one move everyone sees, but it's the third one, the fourth one, the one you don't see. Looks like an armbar, champ.
Yeah, it certainly does.
Using the fence very nicely.
Grabbing Matyushenko's legs so that he can try to become perpendicular, body to body.
Head up.
Look for him to take the leg up on the fence and try to get it in front of Matyushenko's face.
And Matyushenko knows exactly what's going on. He knows what's going on. But Kondo's coming with the punches. He's coming with the little karate chop. He's trying that distraction. Is he going to fall for it?
The one thing about a fighter who has the ability to excel with submissions is he's always in the fight. He always has a chance to win.
That's the beauty of jiu-jitsu. You're never out of it as long as you survive.
Kondo spins. Matyushenko trying to work the neck again. 1 minute, 13 seconds remains in the third and final round. He has his back momentarily. Kondo is a slippery athlete.
Surprised he doesn't circle harder to the head so he can at least get off a couple shots, then go back and cover. but staying long back behind his backside and down by his legs, it makes it almost impossible to throw a good solid punch all the way up to the head.
Well, the power, Frank, pardon me, the power of Marushenko is evident on the ground game here.
It is, and I was just going to say that. It's now turned to wrestling, and it's the better, bigger, stronger wrestler, and I think that's why he's standing back and not throwing no shot. He's out wrestling him. He should stay there, but then again, he's got to do damage.
Particularly to ensure victory, because really the takedowns are the difference. A beautiful kick also added to Marushenko, but in here he's been more conservative than he has been aggressive.
Kondo can't go anywhere, and now with 15 seconds left, it looks like our first fight of the evening will go to a judge's decision. Final 5 seconds. Marushenko and Kondo in the light heavyweight division.
Close fight, but Marushenko had those takedowns. That might be the difference.
Kondo tried at the beginning of each round with the flying knee. He struck out. He tried 3 times. He was unsuccessful.
He struck out, and he struck out big time.
Oh, yes,
he ran right into
and here you're going to get a real good look at it as he comes out and bang, and you saw it had a major effect on Kondo. Here's the kick. Somebody else came out flying, and yeah, you can see pain written on the face of Kondo. Big score there for Marushenko.
So Marushenko coming out at the beginning of each round and countering, if you will, Kondo's quick hit attempt, Frank.
He countered it with the same thing. It was really bizarre, but he knew what was coming. It was really weird. They both knew each other's game, and they both threw it at each other. Who was busy enough to win the show?
The judges rendering the first decision of the evening here in the beautiful Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Light heavyweight fight to start the evening. A light heavyweight title fight will end the evening with Tito Ortiz taking on Elvis Sinosic. Kondo stayed busy with the open hands, but Marushenko had some punches in there too.
He did, and when he got that arm behind his back, and you see that,
right here,
left arm is stuck behind him. He just has no block for it. It just blows. You know, he did damage there. It was a smart tactic, smart wrestling tactic.
We await the judge's decision, taking a little bit of time here.
What do you think, Jeff?
Well, the takedown, certainly Kondo was busy on the bottom, and I thought Marushenko was conservative on top. He didn't really become overly aggressive or really take risks, but he did do very well at controlling Kondo. And with the takedowns and that one big kick and some of the hammer fists, I think Marushenko will probably get the decision, but it's definitely close.
Star-studded evening. Dave Monet, middleweight. The UFC veteran, one of the top fighters in the nation. Dennis Hallman, announcement on him later in the lightweight division. The middleweight contender, perhaps the best in the middleweight division right now. The decision is in, and here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, the judges have reached a unanimous decision for the winner, Vladimir the Janitor Matsushenko.
Marushenko victorious. And on this star-studded evening with Carmen Electra in the crowd, James Wormy has found another superstar.
Well, thank you very much, Mike, here at ringside with a man who needs no introduction, Limp Bizkit's lead singer, Fred Durst. Fred, you enjoying the action here at the UFC tonight?
I'm actually enjoying the action very much, man. It's my first live fight, and I'm ready.
He's ready, but you've been a UFC fan for quite some time, right?
Since day one. I've seen #1, and I'm here right now, and I think it's getting better and better. I think this should be a worldwide, every household thing. I think the UFC is better than wrestling. It's better than boxing. It's better than anything. This is the real deal, and this is fighting.
You better believe it's fighting. It's all real. Fred, you got any predictions on the main event tonight?
I'm pretty sure that Tito Ortiz is going to take it home tonight.
And I'm pretty sure Fred Durst's a little biased. You and Tito go way back. Goldie, back to you.
Ready to get it on. A lightweight fight. We talked at the top of the night about the depth of this lightweight division. How about Uno against Iha? Coming up right now, Uno, the Japanese champion.
My name is Kaoru Uno. I am from Yokosuka, Japan. I am a lightweight. I am a submission fighter. This is my second UFC. I do my best to win.
My name is Fabiano Iha. I'm a lightweight, 5'8", 154 pounds. I'm from Santa Catarina, Brazil. I'm Jiu-Jitsu Vale Tudo fighter. Uno is a very good fighter, very good on the ground, very good stand up. But I will be better than him. The first guy I make a mistake is the first guy going down. And I'm not gonna make the first mistake.
Tail of the tape, Uno against Iha. Iha is 4 years older, but just 1 inch taller. And both want to become factors in this lightweight division, which is so deep and so talented. And the quickness and athleticism of these little guys impresses even some of the big guys here tonight. Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra in the same building again. But a shame we're not in Las Vegas. Of course, they tried that once. Our referee, Mario Yamasaki.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Man, I like this potential matchup and what we could see happen. Uno and Iha.
Touch of gloves, good sign of respect. And Uno's loss to Jens Pulver, he said was a learning experience. He actually apologized to Jens Pulver, saying, I didn't give you my very best. And he feels now he's in a higher class in the UFC, and that learning experience meant he had to become more well-rounded, and he's worked very hard on his stand-up. So look for that to be improved.
Nice kick there, and he told me he watched the tape with Pulver. And he told me himself, he said, I didn't strike enough.
Oh, Iha goes high with the kick and then a punch. And now it comes down to the mat.
He's got half of his back.
Now Iha sees himself going against smaller fighters now. He definitely lost weight for this fight, which could be a negative factor, but when he looks at someone smaller, is that a mental confidence that perhaps he did not have in the past?
I think it's a mental confidence, and it's also technical. You can swing into a hold a lot easier if the guys your size are small, but you've got to worry about a bigger guy getting on top of you, taking advantage. He's going for his armbar right there. He's got one leg up on there.
Uno oftentimes has displayed an ability to be unflappable, and he was unflappable there with the submission attempt. Uno likes to switch things around.
He looked at his
good uppercut, another right, and another right by Iha.
And Iha dominating the stand-up. This is a surprise. Many people thought Iha had no stand-up, and yet he's coming out throwing bombs.
I believe it's surprised to Uno too. He's reacting differently.
Now Uno raining lefts and rights.
Nice one, straight shot.
Inside guard, and it's over. It's all over. It is over. Carl Uno is victorious.
The question was about striking. It was on the ground, but it was answered.
Well, it was the full mount that really opened the door to rain those punches down.
Carl Uno has defeated Fabiano Iha.
Iha being checked out by the doctors. He looks fine. But Uno, a great display of punching power. Let's take a look here, and you'll see that beautiful kick right here by Fabiano Iha. And he's going to go ahead and follow that up with a beautiful right hand. But watch the counter now. After this right hand, it'll be Uno taking the double leg shot. His head's going to come out here, and hand grabs here, and he'll lift Iha this way to finish the takedown. There, head on the outside, gains his ground, drove, brings him down to the mat.
Frank, the amazing thing is how he was able to finish. Watch how he finishes this fight, as Iha should have somewhat control, but he did not.
He should have. He just, when he went back in the guard, he kind of got soft.
I mean, he had the guard closed there.
He was closed up. It looked like he got soft. He kind of relaxed. You see him go for the arm attempt. He took the one shot to the neck, and that just came after that. It didn't look like he took a shot very well at all. We got him on the chin, but those little ones look like they really got him.
And a very pleased and excited Caol Uno, who has evened his UFC record to 1-1. Let's get the decision from the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner due to referee stoppage and a knockout at 1 minute 49 seconds of the first round for the winner, Caol Uno.
Crowd on their feet to celebrate the victory for Uno. And mixed martial arts is about respect for the fights, respect for your fellow fighter. And you saw it displayed right there between Uno and Iha.
Absolutely. And almost every single one of these fighters will congratulate the others, shake hands, and quite often you'll see them talking before a fight occurs.
With the winner, James Wormy.
Thank you very much, Mike. Joined by a victorious Caol Uno through translator. We're going to ask Caol a couple questions. Caol, you lost a very close fight last time here against Jens Pulver. Very close fight. It must feel great for Caol to win here in the Octagon.
この前は非常に接戦で負けちゃいましたけど、今回これで勝って今はどんな感じがしますか？いやでもなんかあんまり勝ち方には納得してないです。もうちょっと、勝ったのは嬉しいですけど、もうちょっとテクニックとか見せたかった。I'm glad to win this time, but I'm not happy. I want to show my technique more.
Well, we saw a lot of technique last time this guy was in the Octagon. I'm sure we'll see plenty more the next time he's in the Octagon. Mike, back to you.
He comes in with great credentials, and he shows them here as he works to a finish. Fabiano Iha.
And those are the punches that did Fabiano Iha in, and they came from the guard. I actually thought that Uno had passed it and gotten to the mount, but it came from in the guard. That was ground and pound. And a happy Caol Uno avenging a loss to Pulver. He's 1-1 in the UFC, and he puts himself back in the contender picture for the championship.
Now, before we came live on the air this evening, we had some tremendous fights to start to get the fans excited. Preliminary matchup. The first one between Tony D'Souza and Paul Rodriguez. And it did not take long at all for D'Souza to get the choke, land the choke, hold on to it, and finish Rodriguez. And there's the tap. 1:13 into the fight. Tony D'Souza wins in the welterweight division against newcomer Paul Rodriguez. And then the heavyweights took to the Octagon, and they did a wonderful job as well. But D'Souza a story with the chokeout in the welterweight division over Paul Rodriguez. And then a Rodriguez, not related, Ricco, took on the big man, Andre Arlovski. This one would go to the third round. What should be noted is that a full mount was gained in the first and second round by Ricco Rodriguez, but it was late in those rounds and he ran out of time. But when he gained the full mount against Arlovski here in the third, he punished him continuously and finished off his opponent from Belarus, Andre Arlovski, as Ricco Rodriguez reigns supreme. We talked about a night which is a monumental night here in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, a night of announcements. Is that right, James Wormy?
Mike, that is very right. We've got many announcements tonight, the first of which is that Dennis Hallman will be facing Jens Pulver at the next UFC, which will be in September. He's going to fight Jens for our lightweight championship. Congratulations on receiving the title shot. That's got to mean a lot to you.
Thank you.
What would it mean for you to fight Jens and win? You guys go way back. You have something of a history. Why don't you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, Jens' mouth has brought him to a point where he's at the end of his road, and I'm waiting there at the end of the road to take his belt.
Taking his belt. These guys go all the way back to high school, and I think that's where this rivalry started, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, Jens has been a smartass since high school. And
Smartass maybe, but he's a lightweight champ. You're going to get a shot at him in September. Dennis Hallman. Go, Mike. Back to you.
James, thank you very much. No love lost between Hallman and our lightweight champion, Jens Pulver, who told us earlier today that when he fought Hallman before, he said, you know what? Everybody's going to have to come through me. I'm going to take the bite. and I'm going to have everyone beat me and come to me. And that includes Dean Thomas, who we will see later this evening. Next up, the welterweights. Shoney Carter, and a night of potential redemption for our longtime former champion, Pat Miletich. Shoney Carter, Mr. International, trying to up his record to 4-0.
My name is Shoney Carter. They call me Mr. International, International Pepper Mystery. My strength is my versatility. It's going to be a war, I know that. I will do throws. I will punch, I will kick, I will knee, I will elbow. Expect the unexpected. It's time for the retribution.
My name is Pat Miletich. They call me the Croatian Sensation. I'm from Bettendorf, Iowa. I'm the former UFC welterweight champion, and I'm not quitting until I get the belt back. I held the belt for 3.5 years, and I'm definitely getting it back. Shoney's an awkward fighter. If I land the right hand on his chin, it'll be a short night. I'm on a mission.
Both come in making weight in the welterweight division, where our present champion is Carlos Newton. So Shoney Carter, Mr. International, in the white trunks. And in the red and black trunks, Pat Miletich. Our referee, Mario Yamasaki, set to get us going.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Pat felt very good in the last fight against Carlos Newton until a mistake he said was made by himself. As Newton has a variety of strikes, and we will see. Miletich was doing a nice job with his strikes. One guy who throws it like a boxer, and another guy who can throw it any way he seems he wants to, Shoney Carter.
Carter with a southpaw.
Oh, big kick. Blocked by Miletich.
Miletich fighting right-handed.
There's a knee that connects with Shoney Carter.
He took some of that.
Oh, Carter shook it off like he was angry and wants to come back to him. We may go toe-to-toe a little while here, boys.
I think this might be a stand-up fight.
It seems like they're both settling into it. I thought Carter might try to move inside and use some of those tremendous throws that he has.
We want to talk about two experienced fighters. Carter 45, 5-5 in mixed martial arts.
He is a worker. He fights everywhere.
Yeah.
He told me he's excited to get this one done, so he'd go do Shidokan karate and fight bare knuckle karate, punch each other in the chest. This man is a martial artist of all trades.
Well, the karate chop is back.
He not only wants to be an MMA champion, which is the best of all worlds, but even in singular disciplines, he wants to be the very best in those, and enters all kinds of competitions across the spectrum of martial arts.
And he is truly an introspective and interesting character from the same high school outside of Chicago as Doc Rivers and Ray Nitschke. Spent a couple of years in the Marines. I mean, here is a man who is truly Mr. International against a man who is by far our most decorated champion with those 7 UFC wins and just 1 defeat. Miletich, a man on a mission, and he wants that mission to go right back towards Carlos Newton.
He's on a mission to get the side mount right here.
He's on a mission to
might even look in full mount. He's trying to get that knee free, and if he pops it out, he could bring it across. It's coming. It's coming. And it's a game of inches. That's jiu-jitsu. Slow, sure, steady progress, and he gets it.
So a full mount. Early part of this fight, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Well, this is definitely where Shoney does not want to be. He doesn't want to be flat on his back and have a guy with the balance, weight, and control of Miletich on top of him.
Miletich's striking has gotten so much better over the past few appearances in the UFC. We forget that he's so well-rounded with his jiu-jitsu background, his submissions, and his wrestling takedowns.
He has all that. And what Pat said to me was he felt that Carter throws great strikes, but they're arcing and they're outside. And what he does is straight line punching, which means he said to me, in theory, I'll get there first. My strike will land there first.
Now, Pat did say he respects his striking ability. He doesn't really respect his power. He doesn't think he has enough power. He just does his angles, he's tapping, he's doing this, but he's not throwing the big ones down the pipe. He's not throwing power.
Well, Carter, throughout his fighting career, oftentimes in a non-mixed martial arts spectrum, has gotten those kicks and those punches in on a point system, just gaining himself points, Frank. So the power was not something that Shoney Carter truly felt was a negative in his arsenal. In this stage, it may be ultimately.
And maybe at this point, with the times we have, it's a time limit.
Right.
It's a time game. It's a numbers game. It's a point game. Is he going to get enough points? Is he going to do enough damage?
There you go. He's hitting on the ribs there. We can hear those shots from where we sit.
And you see Shoney catching that right leg of Pat Miletich. So he's getting himself ready to bridge. That's one thing we didn't see earlier from Arlovski when he didn't prepare himself to bridge.
Yeah, he didn't bring the heels to his backside, so he's locked and loaded to go ahead and arch the hips upward and try to throw the opponent off.
So if the punches come, he wasn't ready. It looks like Shoney is setting himself up to be ready.
Yeah, each time that Pat throws a punch, he starts to bring the heels up and starts the arching.
And there's a saying, when you bridge, you got to have both sides. You got to have a leg and an arm, or you're not really going anywhere. And you'll see it every time he wants to get out. He'll grab the leg with his leg, and he'll grab an arm and hook it.
Miletich basing out, staying very controlled on top of Carter, and here flattening the chest, trying to get Carter to break his lock, but didn't work.
We talked about the punching power of Miletich. He spars with the pros. He's got 3 pros down there, and they box all day long, and he really likes the boxing. He told me he was interested in turning pro boxing at one point, and I think he may even done a match.
Interesting guard work by Carter. Hands locked this whole time. Is that going to be fatiguing for him?
I think the grip he's holding would be fatiguing. The way he's holding is he's holding on with his muscles. There's 2 types of grip. There's a skeletal grip where you're hanging from your tendons, and then there's a muscular grip where you're hanging from your muscles.
Fatiguing, yes, but the ability to neutralize Miletich was evident the way he was holding on to it.
And it was successful. He stopped the punishment. He took away the effect of the mount.
James Wormy is with our champion, Carlos Newton.
That's right, Mike, here with Carlos Newton, our welterweight champion, taking very special interest in this fight. Pat, Shoney, you beat Pat at the last show. Either of these guys could contend with you for this title.
Yeah, we're definitely on a collision course right now, I think everyone knows that, but I'm ready for Pat, I'm ready for Shoney. They're showing their stuff, but I definitely got more than that. Plenty. I got pure adrenaline. I give the fans what they want, a lot of action. I don't expect anyone to be booing me because, I'll slit my throat in the ring if anyone does. So.
Anybody that knows Carlos Newton knows he's ready for anyone. How has your life changed since you become UFC champ?
A lot of notoriety, got a lot of credit. Canadians are on the map now forever. I made history, so yeah, I'm gonna keep up the good work and keep to impress everyone. This is a glorious event. They have the greatest fighters in the world, so it has definitely changed my life, tremendously, and it'll continue to.
And what happened with this ringside? Mike, back to you.
High kick to start the second round by Shoney Carter. And Carlos Newton, a truly confident young man. Sakurai also potentially down the road a candidate for a shot here in the welterweight division. Miletich handling the high kicks very nicely.
Yeah, had those hands up there, actually smiling when the kick came up.
Shoney with a knee.
Shoney is so versatile.
Yeah.
It changes from style to style, and then it strikes in between them.
Unorthodox in the same fashion as Carlos Newton, and that is the one thing, if there was one thing that concerned Pat Miletich most, it's how unorthodox Shoney Carter is.
Because there's no rules. You don't know what's going to happen. There's no guidelines.
Oh, he got that knee up.
And
nice
now some
right
elbows.
hand.
Good combination by Miletich. Grabbed the hand of Shoney Carter, pulled him down, met the head with a knee. And then
Shoney just
worked him up top. Yeah. Yep. And another combination as both come in. This is how round 1 started.
Carter's giving Miletich a different look here in the second round. Now he's gone back to southpaw, switched again to right hand.
He keeps moving. There's a kick that got right into the solar plex area.
There's a kick, and Jens Polver told us that kicking is the key to Miletich winning this fight. Is to punch, kick, and do the damage with the kick. Get him to forget about the hands, and they're catching with the hands.
Well, that's the one thing that Jens told us this afternoon. As good as Pat's hands have become, he oftentimes has forgot about how dominating his legs can be.
He's got good kicks, and he's got power. And it goes a long way and does a lot of damage.
Well, he is trained in Muay Thai, and so that involves lots of kicking. 2 guys who are as experienced as any fighters that we will see in today's Ultimate Fighting Championship going at it. Miletich again connects.
Over the top with that right hook again.
coming with the arm.
Consistently.
Yeah, and in the close quarters, Jeff, use that forearm, that elbow combination. You can arc it in. You can't use the elbow point, but you can arc it in, and he's used it effectively a couple times.
Seems like Miletic is starting to find the range.
He's starting to find it.
Carter still has not been able to find a consistent offense on his feet.
And a consistent one that does anything.
I'm gonna warn you one more time on the short pass.
Something to make Pat make a change.
The first time Shoney Carter lost in his career, way long ago against Laverne Clark. He took up boxing and joined the U.S. Boxing Association the next day to learn how to strike. Oh my goodness! Oh my! It is over! A high kick by Miletic ends the night for Shoney Carter.
They were talking about those kicks.
It caught him, it finished him, and this one is over. Wow! How good is that?
They didn't touch gloves at the beginning of the fight, but there's that sportsmanship you talk of. And how about Pat Miletic and some flair in that fighting?
Pat Miletic was on a mission. That mission was fueled by anger.
Everyone said that he was a dangerous person to be fighting at this UFC after that loss. And Miletic came out and showed everyone the kind of talent he has, and certainly he is looking for that championship opportunity again.
That is as good a kick as we have seen in the UFC since Petey Williams, Mark Coleman. That is outstanding. Miletic used the feet, he used the legs, he gets the win, which becomes official with the voice of Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 2 minutes and 42 seconds of the second round due to a referee stoppage. For the winner, the Croatian sensation,
Carter wanted his chance, he got it, and Miletic was awesome. And I think Shoney Carter got his revenge possibility on Miletic at the wrong time of Pat Miletic's life.
I agree. I mean, Pat was more motivated for this fight than I have ever seen him, and he was so angry after Newton tapped him out that you could see that he wanted redemption bad. He came prepared.
Here is James Wormy with our winner.
Thank you very much, Mike. Congratulations, Pat. Another victory in the octagon. Nothing new for you. It's got to feel good after the last time here.
Yeah. I first want to thank the good Lord for giving me the strength to come out here. This is a very tough fight for me. Had trouble making weight. Didn't sleep at all last night because I was so hungry and thirsty. And this was a bigger win than winning the title, actually, because of all the trouble I went through. And I'd also like to thank Fairtex Muay Thai Academy and equipment, Mr. James Wong, for helping us out and getting us great equipment. Full Contact Fighter and Joel Gold. All my fans and friends back home. Say hi to my mom and my wife Lynn. And thanks to those three guys right there in my corner, Jens Pulmer, Jeremy Horn, and Matt Hughes, and all my buddies back home.
Pat, that was some kick. Let's take a look at the replay. Take us through it, if you will. Connected pretty well.
I was just trying to set him up for a big shot, you know, and I didn't deliberately try and kick him in the back of the head, but you know, I was definitely trying to land it hard. I threw some low ones to hurt his legs, and like I said, I just had trouble getting going today, really, to be honest with you.
Really? Ever knocked anybody out with a kick before?
No, I've knocked him out with punches before, but never with a kick, except in kickboxing when I used to fight kickboxing matches.
Well, Pat Miletic, victorious in the octagon again. Let's throw it over to Frank.
Shoney Carter, Mr. International. Man, that was a hell of a shot.
Yeah.
You're a martial artist. That happens.
It happens.
What's next for you?
Well, I go back to the drawing board and I look to, you know, work on the mistakes that I made during the fight. And even though I lost, you know, this drops me to 3-1 in the UFC. You know, I give full credit to the guys that helped train me. It wasn't their fault.
Do you feel like you made a mistake? Is that what it was? Or do you feel like it was just a numbers game?
It was a numbers game. I don't feel that I made a mistake. You know, he's a great fighter. I don't make excuses. When I win, I win. I smile, I hold my head up. You know, what can I say? I mean, you know, he caught me, And it was a good stoppage. I was dazed. And hopefully, you know, the Zuffa organization that had me back, thank you, Lord, for giving me the ability. Dean D'Alessandro, everybody.
Well, Shoney, you are class act. You are Mr. International. Thanks, bro.
Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you, and I love you all.
How special it is as the UFC continues to grow, and the UFC, its fighters and its dignitaries want to thank the fans for continuing to be supportive of fighters like Elvis Sinosic, who will fight later and we'll go up close with right now.
Hey, this is Elvis Sinosic, the King of Rock and Rumble, coming to you from down under in Sydney, Australia, on the beautiful foreshores of the Sydney Harbour. Sydney is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. People are really friendly. The beaches are absolutely fantastic. I love the beaches here in Sydney. You know, we've got the Aussie rules football, we've got the rugby league, we've got the beach volleyball. I mean, Australia's a sporting nation and we're full of sports here. And Sydney's, you know, it's one of the meccas there. You know, all the sport comes here, so it's another great opportunity to get out there when I'm not being involved myself, just to be a spectator, because you know, a big part of me is being a fan of the sports as well as a fan of fighting. Here we are in picturesque Manly Beach on the north shore of Sydney in Australia. I come to Manly Beach to do my runs. I do cardio several times a week. I like to run on the beach because the soft sand makes the run a bit harder, and it also involves some of your stabilising muscles. To also help me with my run, I wear my polar heart rate monitor so I can keep track of the intensity that I'm doing and make sure that I am running at the right level. Well, we just finished up the morning run part of my routine. That's half the workout done for today. We've got lunch and a rest up ahead, and this afternoon we'll have some grappling training, just working on some of my groundwork, the upcoming fight. My involvement in mixed martial arts all started as a fan. You know, I got my first UFC video and I was enthralled by what was happening in there. I started looking for ways that I could learn more about it. And initially it was just through videos and magazines, and eventually I discovered, you know, the internet. It's one of the most fantastic mediums where I'm thousands of miles away from where it's all happening, yet I can have direct interaction with people on the other side of the world who are as much a fan of the sport as I am. And then as I became a fighter, through the internet, I was able to meet a few promoters, get my name out. I was able to meet a few fighters. And from there, you know, I picked up a few opportunities to fight overseas. So I was then able to make personal contact. The fight with Frank Shamrock ended up going 5 rounds. It ended up being a close decision. I believe it was 50 points to 48 points. I lost by 2 points at the end. So it was a very close fight. My first fight in the octagon was just a fantastic opportunity. I think Jeremy Horn is one of the most underrated fighters in the sport of mixed martial arts. He's got amazing skills in stand-up and groundwork, and he's just a fantastic challenge. Plus, after the performance I put in with Frank, knowing Frank couldn't put me away, I also thought that I didn't think Jeremy could put me away. And also adding the fact that Frank finished Jeremy, I thought I could do the same thing.
There's the tap! There's the tap! The thinking man's fighter, Elvis Sinosic, victorious in his UFC debut!
It wasn't an easy fight, you know. You've got to look for some of the small things in the match. I was constantly attacking on the ground. Jeremy was constantly nullifying it. So that submission I got, it wasn't a one-off, and it wasn't something that I knew I'd get easily. I had to work through the whole match because Jeremy was making me work. So when I did get it, it was fantastic. Getting the title shot is just a fantastic opportunity. I mean, right now, Tito's the man. Across all organisations, he's a #1 fighter. I mean, I've always wanted to fight in the UFC. I mean, who doesn't? You know, it's the premier mixed martial arts organisation out there. But the thing is, why do you fight? Because you want to be the champ, you know, because you want a shot at the champ. And this is the shot I've got. So all I want to do is exactly what I did before. I want to come in there and prove that I deserve this shot.
A very well-spoken, a very intelligent Elvis Sinosic, Frank Shamrock, Jeff Blatnick. When you look at the tools that Sinosic has, it may not be his hands, it may not be his feet, it may not be his submissions, it may be the 6 inches between his ears, which makes him dangerous tonight.
Well, he certainly is an intelligent fighter. He's very, very long, and he knows how to apply leverage. He's a master submission man. He's got great length, in particular in his legs, and that helps set everything up. But the biggest change for Elvis, he's training full time, and this is the first time he's ever been able to do it. I think he's going to be ready.
Light heavyweight belt on the line tonight, and since winning the middleweight belt, which is now turned into the light heavyweight belt, Frank Shamrock, Tito Ortiz has run through everybody. Many believe he'll run right over Elvis Sinosic tonight, but you know firsthand that Elvis has not been run over very often.
Elvis has not only not been run over, but he's also always the underdog. And he never has enough time trained. And he's never been fully prepared. And now he is fully prepared. And I saw Tito come out in 2 different people's corners. How come he's not back in the dressing room, relaxing, focusing? Because that's where Elvis is. Elvis is the king. And I'm really interested to see this fight tonight.
You couldn't finish Elvis. Why?
I couldn't finish him. I could not put him away. And I have finished everyone. I finished Tito, and I'm not to brag. I finish everyone always. That's my job. That's my game. I couldn't finish Elvis.
Intriguing matchup, perhaps more intriguing than many have been giving credit to this fight on paper. Let's hear from Elvis Sinosic, who's backstage with James Wormy.
Thank you very much, Mike. Joined here by Elvis Sinosic. First of all, Elvis, thanks for joining us.
My
I know
pleasure.
we're just a few hours from fight time. A couple years ago, you just started with mixed martial arts. Now you're about to fight for the biggest title in the sport. Has that hit you yet?
Yeah, kind of, you know, the nerves, the fans, seeing everyone here. It's a fantastic experience, and yeah, I can really feel it, and it's really pumping me up.
We're about an hour, maybe an hour and a half from fight time. Take us through what you're going to do to prepare to fight Tito Ortiz between now and then.
Well, at the moment, I'm just getting taped up. I've got my hands and feet, which I'll need to get taped in preparation for the bout. Then I'll rest a little bit more, just sit back, chill. And then as the match gets closer, I'll start warming up. I might hit some focus mitts or something. Not too much, but just enough to get a slight sweat going and the blood pumping. And then from there, it's just to psych up for the match and come out there and let it hang out.
Elvis Sinosic, the king of rock and rumble. He surprised everyone last time. Will he do it again tonight? Time will tell. Mike?
Well, certainly we are excited about the light heavyweight title matchup later tonight. We are also excited because there is news and more news concerning the Ultimate Fighting Championship, which will please all our great fans. James Wormy has the update.
We're joined by the president of the UFC, Mr. Dana White, and Dana's got a few very special announcements for everyone at home.
Actually got a couple of great announcements. Come the fall, we will be on every TV in America. Finally. And even more exciting than that, as our spokesperson, we have hired the beautiful Carmen Electra.
I just so happen to be standing next to the beautiful Carmen Electra. Carmen, are you enjoying yourself here at the UFC tonight?
Absolutely. The energy here is off the hook. We're having a good time tonight. And this is just about as raw and as cutting edge as you can get. I'm a huge fan of the sport, and I'm really happy to be a spokesperson for the UFC.
Now, a few weeks ago, Carmen, in Los Angeles, we did a huge photo shoot with you and a lot of our fighters. Why don't you tell the fans at home a little bit about that?
Not only are these guys handsome and tough, they get in the ring and kick ass, but they're also really intelligent and down to earth. We had a good time. We had a lot of fun.
And we are proud to have Carmen Electra as our spokeswoman, and the future looks very bright with these announcements from Dana. I'll tell you what, fans, we've been waiting for this for a long time, and it's going to happen this fall.
Semi Schilt and Josh Barnett ready to go toe-to-toe in the heavyweight category right now.
My name is Josh Barnett. They call me the babyface assassin. I'm 23 years old. I'm 6'3", 255 pounds. This is just another step on my way to getting my hands on the UFC title. My style is AMC pancreation. I'm on the road to the title, and no one's gonna stand in my way. I'm here to take care of business.
My name is Semi Schilt. I'm 6'11" and 256 pounds. I was born in Rotterdam, and now I live in South Leiden. I'm a Vanquish-style fighter. I'm very dangerous standing up fighting. This is my second UFC. I don't have any goals, I just want to fight. The best of me is still to come.
Weight won't be a factor, but height certainly is every time Semi Schilt steps inside the octagon. Our referee, Big John McCarthy.
Here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get on! Come on!
The new Josh Barnett and the knees of Semi Schilt.
Wow, look at the height difference.
I noticed in all the fights that when people go to dodge his hands, they drop their head and they try to move side to side, not to be a stationary target, and it sets up the knees. But Barnett, with his wrestling background, goes right in on Semi and takes him down.
He had the right idea. He got the timing, he got the piece, and he got there long before the knee ever got up.
He's also, I think he's in a side mount. Can't tell if that right leg is out of there yet, but I think it is.
So long, it could be.
He is inside mount.
Well, I remember Pete Williams took Semi Schilt down a couple of times, but he was ineffective even when he passed his guard to a full mount, because Semi just got those long arms out and locked the wrists of Petey Williams.
And Williams told me when he stretched his body out, it just felt like he was pulling his arms off. He couldn't move his arm. He was so long and so strong.
And Barnett is having his way here with the grappling.
Oh,
nice little drop, elbow against the chin.
And Barnett
gonna do it again.
He's just being overlooked. It's just the story of his life from wrestling to football, and maybe this night tonight and this fight opportunity will help to have the fans of mixed martial arts acknowledge his skills. I think he turned a few heads against Pedro Hizzo, but he did it on his feet. Now he's trying to work the ground game, and he's got the wrestling background to do so.
Let's go.
He said against Hizzo, he clinched with him and felt he did not have the speed or the power to really take the good takedown shot. But here against Semi Schilt, he has him down. And I thought he was going to be trying to get to full mount there. It looked like he was thinking about it, but settles into the side mount. Let's see what Josh Barnett is going to do to cause some damage.
I think that Josh in the mount will be less effective because of the bridging power and the height of Semi. If he bridges up with Josh on top, he's going to fall off. But from the side, he can do a lot of damage and work submissions.
Here comes some strikes, knee in the stomach. Good control position to strike from.
That right knee is where he had the control, isn't it?
Yeah, the knee on the stomach, and here comes, ooh, that was a good, solid armbar. He looked like he was going to go for it. And Josh told me he'd go for a hold.
Right here, he still might. He's still got that arm.
That is a dangerous position.
Trying to load in, and there's the long arms of Semi Schilt. That one just misses the right, and he missed again. Schilt avoiding a couple potential bombs.
Watch those knees coming up towards Josh's head, too. If he strikes and their bodies get out of position, that knee could find him.
Full mount now. Pete Williams couldn't do anything in this position because of Schilt's long frame. Can Josh Barnett? Midway point of round number one.
He's finding
3 rounds scheduled at 5 minutes apiece.
And he's got, look how high his knees are. His knees are all the way up in his armpits. Totally overpowering the top of Semi's body.
Here comes that arch that you were talking about. Nearly got it.
And Frank, if he mounts higher up in those armpits, he shortens the body of Schilt, makes him more normal size, doesn't he?
He's not only shortened it, but he's sitting on his chest. And you control the guy when you sit on his chest, and you can rain down on him and or set up hold. And I believe that's what Josh is setting up. He's using his strikes to get Semi to strike back. He's going to go for that arm.
Josh is got a good game plan, and that's not a surprise with Matt Human.
Semi's got the big handhold on him.
Josh is caught. He did take a hit. Looks in the eye. Is Semi trying to work with his opponent on a full mount? Barnett is bleeding from his eye area, and now Schilt is too.
And he's punching at that eye
working on that punch. He's working on that cut.
Oh, elbow by Josh Barnett.
Barnett loves to mix it up. So does Semi Schilt.
Dangerous position Semi's in. He's got
now he's looking for a submission.
Leg choke armbar. There's
trying to finish it.
And Schilt gets away.
Now this could be dangerous. Schilt with that long reach.
There's another armbar attempt. He's got it around.
He's got that.
He's got 2 on 1.
Needs to extend.
He's just got to straighten it out. And a lot of blood coming out of Semi now.
There it is.
Can he finish the arm? The left arm.
It's so long. He's got full position.
There, now he's got better leverage.
Can he lock it in? Can he lock it in?
He's got his weight on the back of it.
Schilt turns him over again.
He doesn't have his elbow.
It's over. It's over.
Hung in there nice.
Josh Barnett victorious with submission over Semi Schilt. He held it and finished the fight. With every piece of energy that he had.
It was workmanship. He just took it step at a time and kept improving, got to full mount, was finally able to go for some damage, and when Semi put those hands up to stop the punching, he finally went to that combination choke armbar and got the armbar.
He totally set him up for that. High on the chest, here's the armbar. And right there, stop it, right there. You can see all the weight is on the back of his arm, everything. It's just putting it back. And I think he just wore him out through attrition. I think he had all the weight on it, he kept working on it, and kept working on it. His elbow point's not down when he goes over, but his arm was too tired. He was done.
All right, baby. Stay right there.
Josh Barnett, who went toe-to-toe with Pedro Rizzo, has upped his record in the UFC to 2-1. Man, he had that limb and
look
he
at the point
worked
of his
it.
elbow. The elbow point's not down, but I think he just wore his arm out tweaking on it, and he knew that he couldn't keep blocking it.
Barnett, victorious. He thinks he is a rising star, and so do many others.
He's
here
23 years
the
old.
Ultimate Fighting Champion.
And he's getting better.
A powerful, powerful young man. Check in with Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 4 minutes and 21 seconds of the very first round due to a tap out from an armbar. The winner is the baby-faced assassin, Josh Barnett.
Jeff, was the key to submission, or was the real silent key the fact that because Barnett took Schilt right down, Schilt never was able to use his knees?
Schilt never got going. He was immediately on the defensive, and he never got relief from it. Barnett not only immediately achieved side mount, he got the full mount, he got some strikes in, then he changed off to submission. A beautiful performance by a very young baby-faced assassin.
Who is standing inside the octagon with James Worming.
Thank you very much, Mike. Man, babyface assassin. How about giant killer? Congratulations, Josh.
Once again, another big man, another one down.
Josh Barnett, certainly a rising star in the heavyweight division. Did you know you had the armbar right away? You worked on it for a very long time and sunk it in there real tight.
Well, he kept defending, and I popped it a bunch of times. But he just wanted to hold on, and he kept leaving it back in position again. I kept taking it.
Was that the game plan going in with those long limbs to try to isolate one of them and go for an armbar or a leg lock?
Game plan was to kick his ass. That's it.
Think you accomplished that?
We fought.
And you won. Congratulations, Josh. Mike, back to you. Actually, we're going to throw it over to Frank right now.
Props to tap out.
I got Big Semi here. Wow. Hey, you said your hero was Kenny, because he always dies and he always comes back. That was a war out there. Man, that was a war.
I'm coming back.
You're coming back.
I'm coming back stronger.
Well, it was a brilliant fight. It just looked like he outworked you. You know, what do you say to that? There's nothing you can do. I want to see you back. I checked your reach today, and you are a big, scary man.
Sorry.
Back to you guys.
Great fights so far here this evening. Some submissions, a couple of knockouts, a big kick from Miletich, and a backstage interview with Tito Ortiz and James Worming.
Thank you, Mike. Here at Tito Ortiz's locker room, the light heavyweight champ, putting the wood on some focus pads here. I have seen Tito hit these things for 1 solid hour. The champ has no fear of hitting, getting hit, or gassing out. Definitely on a mission, been working a lot on his boxing, looking to knock some people out. Mike?
James, thank you very much. Tito Ortiz in Team Punishment. He is on a roll. He feels it. He is the biggest star right now on a star-studded night across the Hudson of UFC action. Coming up still this evening for the Light Heavyweight Championship of the World, the Huntington Beach bad boy, Tito Ortiz, against the challenger, the king of rock and rumble, Elvis Sinosic. Beautiful shot of Manhattan, and a beautiful shot inside the Continental Airlines Arena, where coming up next, a lightweight matchup, which we are calling the fans fight. Dean Thomas set to take on Baby J, BJ Penn. Dean Thomas making his long-awaited UFC debut here this evening against Penn. Two wonderful matchups tonight in the lightweight division. How about Little Evil Jens Pulver, our present champion, and how impressive he was against Caro Uno in winning the belt. Take a look at Little Evil. Little Evil, Jens Pulver. What a great champion. And a win that night for Dusty. And Jens Pulver, our lightweight champion, will join us in the booth for this fight. First of all, how do you feel and how has it been to be the champion?
I'm gonna tell you, it's been phenomenal. I think I won it at the perfect time. I got the new owners of Zuffa and this new organization and this team. It's phenomenal. They actually care about the fighters, and they've been making me feel real important. I've got to go around and meet so many great individuals. It's just been one trip after another. It's just been great. It's almost hard to get back into fighting. You know, I got to start training again. It's like, hey, step out of La La Land and let's go back to what you know. So,
well, you get to train for a fight in September with your belt on the line against your old buddy Dennis Hallman, who has spoken already about you here this evening.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I don't know how I can be walking up that road to meet him. I'm the champ. I'm stopping. I turned around. They all come to me now. That's my cul-de-sac. So it's just been, we've known each other through high school. I don't know. I think he was a little jealous that I started fighting like he did because I stood out in wrestling, and he's kind of followed in the footsteps a little bit, but he's been running his mouth saying I'm no good, been saying I suck and I couldn't beat guys like John Lewis, Phil Johnson. I'm a respectful guy, and if they give me credit, I'll give them credit, but he's done nothing of the sort. So it's one of them things. They did me a favor by signing that fight. I'm looking forward to it September. I'm gonna knock him out.
Hey, Hallman's a guy who has performed very well, though, and you don't like him already. We know that. He doesn't like you either. That's not such a bad thing in this fight world, but he is very talented, isn't he?
You know what? And that's not to take away from his skills. Very skilled fighter. He's earned this shot. He's beaten my teammate twice in under 20 seconds, which was Matt Hughes, and that's no easy thing. Yeah, it's not to take away from his skills at all. I respect him as a fighter, but it's as a person. He gives me no respect. I'm not going to lower myself to respect him when I'm not getting it back.
Jens, we look forward to your comments as we continue to look at this great card tonight, Jeff. And you look at this great card, it includes Dean Thomas, and it should be mentioned that Hallman has defeated your buddy and teammate Matt Hughes twice by submission. So the lightweights are outstanding as we can feature right now in the UFC.
Without doubt, the lightweight class is the premier class in the UFC, and this man's the champ of that division. And I got a question for you. You were the chaser. Now you are the chased. And how is Jens Pulver going to maintain his motivation to continue to improve as the champ?
Well, first off, my fiance at home, Gina, she won't let me quit. She's got my diet going. She's got my weight routines rolling. I mean, it's back to business. And then in my room, Pat Miletich, Jeremy Horn, Matt Hughes, you think you're going to go in there with the swollen head? Sad mistake, man. I might be the champ here, but in there I'm just another opponent. So it's back to business. All that belt's done is guaranteed that I'm going to fight the best guy, and I'm going to get their best every time, and that's all I want.
Speaking of the best, we are going to see two of the best in the lightweight game right now, right here at the Continental Airlines Arena. Baby J, BJ Penn. The fans cried, don't ever put him in a prelim again, as he is set to fight Dean Thomas. And the fans cried, bring Dean Thomas to the UFC. Fans, we love your support. We have answered your calls, and they are set to go.
Lightweight contenders BJ Penn and Dean Thomas are two rising stars in the UFC, and one of them is on the fast track to the UFC Lightweight Championship of the World. BJ, the Prodigy Penn, enters the octagon as the most decorated jiu-jitsu athlete in America, and in his UFC debut last May, he lived up to all the hype, completely dominating his opponent from start to finish until the fight was stopped. Dean the Dominator Thomas may be a UFC rookie, but he has taken on and taken out some of the toughest lightweights in the world, including present UFC champion Jens Pulver. This fight will decide who is next in line for a shot at the coveted UFC lightweight belt.
I dominated the last time I was in the octagon. It's my first time in the octagon, but I'm a true veteran of the mixed martial arts. I have a record of 13-1.
Dean's tough, but I'm going to dominate him.
You know, it's a pretty competitive division, but I think I'll stand at the top, and we're going to find out.
I'm the best fighter in the lightweight division, and the UFC is giving me the chance to prove that I'm the best pound for pound in the world.
I've already beaten the champ. Next time I'm taking his belt.
Coming up next, BJ Penn versus Dean Thomas.
Tail of the tape. This highly anticipated matchup between the 24-year-old Dean Thomas, the 22-year-old BJ Penn. Everything else is absolutely even. No disrespect to our present champion, Little Evil, but this is like a title fight right here with these two.
Here we go, here we go. Are you ready? I'm just going to sit back and let this thing explode right off the bat. Who's going to do what first is what I'm looking for. Big right hands. See, Din has got he can stop shots, and that's a lot of people don't understand that about him.
Now, Din, you told us this afternoon, has a 76.5-inch reach.
Mind-blowing, actually. That was one of the things I was really intimidated about. When he fought Mushima, he was able to get into that guard, and Mushima could not extend him enough to block those punches. So he's real effective in this area right here with those long arms.
Dean Thomas, obviously, one of the big contenders for a shot at Jens Pulver, but so is Baby J, BJ Penn, who was impressive in his debut, defeating the wrestler Joey Gilbert, and displayed a tremendous and wide array of skills that night.
Yes, he did. It was absolutely amazing to see what he could do, and you hear a lot of hype about him. This fight right here is going to prove if the talk is the talk, if the walk is the walk, because both these guys got up.
And there is a question of experience. Dean Thomas has a lot of experience. BJ Penn in MMA has less. And we have seen that experience is a very valuable commodity here in the octagon.
You want to talk about, the prodigy and a ton of hype. BJ Penn has a ton of hype surrounding him, and he's been working out with Frank Shamrock. So he's learned a lot from Shamrock and working with his camp. Frank Shamrock told us that he will teach him one thing a day, and just one thing only. BJ will do it 500-600 times, Jens, and he will have it in his arsenal for good. He'll use it the next day, and they keep building and building and building.
That's an amazing training tool, to be that focused and that dedicated. It's like, look, don't throw me a whole bunch of moves. Give me one. Let's perfect it. We'll move on. I'm not too anxious to learn a whole bunch of things. We got time in this game.
Now, he's very, very coachable, that is obvious, but the one thing that I liked hearing about him is a lot of people say this is work, this is business, the fighting game. He loves what he does, and when you love what you do, it's no longer work. And that's the best kind of thing. We always hear the team that's having the most fun, the team that wins. Well, it's the same with individual sports, too.
Check out his leg. He's
trying to work the leg.
Talk about amazing right here. Look at that. With his own leg, look at the leverage that he's creating, and he's going to start to work with the strike. That is flexibility. They were talking about that earlier, weren't they?
Absolutely. The flexibility
now here
of
comes
BJ
those long
Penn,
arms,
eats the long arm twice. The left
you.
hand of Dean Thomas. On the way up, he tried to get in with the right. He did not. And now they are on their feet. Good start here.
Very good start. Very good start. Dean's got to work that jab.
Oh, just missed. And he's down. And he's down. And BJ Penn has finished. Dean Thomas. BJ Penn.
Goodness. Talk about a shot. His opportunity opened, and bam, he let it go.
What a knee. Put him right back. BJ Penn is the real deal.
I think
let's take another look at the finish here. And here comes the knee. Bang, and that's flush. And right here, Dean doesn't know where he is, and he follows up with 2-3 punches before John McCarthy says, that's it. No more.
Oh, my goodness. That's one thing about having those long arms. When you miss, you miss. So he came in too aggressive. Look, he loaded it. BJ's got too much skill, waited, and Din just couldn't gather himself, and the knee was waiting right there for him. Take it home.
Speed is a dangerous skill, and it's something hard to train. It's a God-given commodity, and BJ Penn has it.
Youth, speed, power, flexibility. Oh, my.
Power displayed appropriately off the knee of BJ Penn.
That's a fighter right there.
They are on their feet for this performance by Baby J, BJ Penn. And at some point, Jens, you may have to fight BJ Penn after Holman if you defeat him.
God willing, we'll see what happens. I definitely would love to have a shot at this guy. Talk about amazing.
Well, he's got power like you do, Jens.
Yes, he does. That's what I was told. But I think we'll go back to that old Couture Belfort. Someone's got to derail him. It might as well be me.
Well, the protege here continues to improve. And rightfully so, given that name. He just keeps getting better and better. Not only does he have fast hands, he's a world champion in jiu-jitsu.
Well, he spells it D-I-N. Many call him Din. His name is Dean. One thing we know, one thing, he is done. D-O-N-A. Yeah, man. BJ Penn just reigns with confidence right now. And a confident fighter is a dangerous fighter, Jeff.
Yes, he is. He's having fun. He loves what he does. He thinks this is great. He ran into the octagon. A lot of people a little bit hesitant to hear that boat snap shot. But BJ trains very, very hard. He's in with a good camp. And I think Frank Shamrock said a lot about him to us, and it seems to be all true.
The doctor's doing a nice job attending to Dean Thomas. He is just fine in our official decision, brought to us by Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 2 minutes and 42 seconds of the very first round due to a referee stoppage. For the winner, BJ, the Prodigy, Penn.
If the long arm misses, the body and the head is exposed, and BJ took advantage. He's being wrapped up now by our James Wormy.
Thank you very much, Mike. Joined by victorious BJ Penn. The reason you are fighting second to last, the reason you're the co-main event is because the fans wanted to see this fight. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Thank to all the fans for. Thanks to all the fans that was giving me the chance to fight second. Yeah, I'm a nice guy, but this is what's gonna happen to every single guy that steps in the ring with me. Exactly this, nothing else.
BJ,
it's not gonna go to decision.
It was a punishing knee. Take a look at it right here.
Yeah, I saw.
Did you see the opening? Did you instinctively bring the knee up on the clinch? Take us through it a little bit.
Well, when I fight, I never think about winning. I just fight. So, part reaction, part see the opening. I don't know.
You're training with a lot of good guys in Vegas. Talk about it in Hawaii. Talk about your training, the guys you're with, and how that helps you in here in the octagon.
I'm down here with my team from Novo União, Tony, John Lewis. What's up to everybody from Novo União? Training American Kickboxing Academy. I do CrossFit Fitness, CrossFit.com. Javier Mendez, Shamrock's crew. Yeah, I'm just glad. I'm happy.
Now we announced tonight that Jens Pulver is going to fight Dennis Hallman next. You might be in line to face a winner of that. What are your thoughts on fighting for the belt?
It's like I said, nothing personal. It's my belt.
Tito Ortiz, absolutely on a roll. He has evolved into the most popular, most exciting, and potentially most damaging fighter in mixed martial arts today. Let's go up close.
Now we're in. Tito Ortiz, the bad boy from Huntington Beach, is the most dominant and exciting fighter in mixed martial arts today. Much of the reason for this is a tireless training regimen and a 6-hour-a-day dedication to the sport. Now, this one-time outstanding wrestler has evolved into a well-rounded mixed martial artist with a variety of weapons at his disposal. Last February, Ortiz showed off these weapons, completely dismantling #1 contender Evan Tanner, showcasing first his ability to intimidate and then his overpowering strength en route to victory. But in today's UFC, Tito knows that development and refinement of new skills is necessary. And for this defense, he has enlisted boxing trainer Don House to hone his skills and teach him the finer points of the sweet science.
Working with Don House, I think a lot of things I'm trying to successfully do is turning my punches over and hit people with power. Because I have a lot of power on my body, I just gotta learn how to use it. And once I learn how to use it, it's going to be scary.
Boxing, we do a lot of balance. Tito has a lot of strength. He's fast, he's quick with his hands. But I want to work with his balance and his punching power. And everything else I don't know anything about, but only the boxing part. When you dig that shot to the body, drop and twist. There you go. That's what that shot goes. Drop and twist. Pop. Pop. Drop and twist. Pop.
Some of the technique that I've changed to make me have knockout power now is not using so much energy when I punch. Let all the punches just flow and be consistent. I mean, I was learning when I was hitting the focus pads because every one of my punches, all of a sudden I wasn't getting tired when I was punching because everything was flowing. It wasn't I was trying to kill people when I was punching. It was like, all right, I'm just trying to hit you with all the power I can. And now I'll hit them with the quickness and let the power follow behind.
I'm trying to teach him a certain rhythm, a boxing rhythm, which would also carry over into his sport. Rhythm is a discipline of all sports, basically basketball, baseball, football, even golf has a certain rhythm. And I'm trying to get him in that boxing rhythm. And once he get in that rhythm, then he'll be able to punch, kick, whatever.
I think it helps to achieve a few things by using the medicine ball of tightening the muscles in the stomach so if I get body punches, and at the same time using strength with turning my punches over, using the twisting motion and the strength in my legs.
I do a routine where I have him hand me the ball behind him, and that's more turning and dropping off the hook, turning back the other, go off the right hand. Boxing, we roll with a lot of punches, so if I catch a right hand on the chin, if my face is frozen, I'm going to fall down. But if I get hit and turn with it, I take some of the shock off the punch and come back with another punch. So with the medicine ball, I have him turning or dropping, picking it up from either side. So when he does get hit and he's dropped, he can come back with a shot.
What I've been learning from sparring is pretty much kind of learning how to get hit and reacting from getting hit. Hitting the person before he hits me. Working off the timing of the punches, bobbing and weaving, just trying to stay away from getting hit, and working on my shots.
Boom, good shot. That's what I'm talking about. And they come back to the top of the right hand. Boxing's easy compared to the UFC guys. We only have to deal with a left hand and right hand. But these guys, they got left hand, right hand, feet, knees, they got everything they look after.
I think boxers, that's one of the toughest sports out there right now. They punch each other so much, they don't get a chance to take people down like we do. But now, I don't know, there may be a different league for me in boxing. Not really though.
Yeah, he's pretty well at the boxing level. I've trained many professional boxers, and Tito's up there. I mean, just because of his athletic ability and his willing to learn. So, yeah, I can give him that.
Ready?
He's ready. He's ready.
Tito Ortiz, the Huntington Beach bad boy, the most recognized figure right now in the UFC. Tito Ortiz about to put his belt on the line, and he has done nothing but punish his last two opponents. And with that, Jeff Blatnick, you like Tito Ortiz tonight.
Oh, I certainly do like Tito Ortiz. He continues to improve, and that's the best thing a fighter can do. And the reason I'm going to say he's continuing to improve, we know he's a great takedown specialist. We know he can get people down to the ground, but he wanted to improve his stand-up. We saw some footage of that, but I got a comment from somebody you know, Frank Shamrock, somebody that BJ Penn knows, Javier Mendez. And he come up and said that Tito is getting very, very good, that whoever's coaching him is teaching him the right things. So if the competition is picking up on it, it's something that is definitely happening. Tito will continue to get better, not only with strikes, but with submissions.
All that said, all the hype, Tito Ortiz will come into fireworks and lightning, and he'll be looking for some thunder, and you like the upset.
I like the upset. I like the underdog. I was always the underdog. Elvis is the underdog. It's a smart man's game. And Javier has been my coach for years. Javier has always hit it on the head, but has he focused too much on boxing? Has he been distracted by the fame? I know Elvis hasn't. I'm going with Elvis on this one.
Elvis said that Tito is so potentially damaging. That's his biggest concern.
He does damage. He's huge. He does damage, and the first person to do the most amount of damage in the shortest amount of time is going to win the fight. But you got to know where to do the damage. You got to know when to administer it.
And it'll be interesting to see, because we talked earlier, Jeff, about Elvis Sinosic, and we said the most important part of his arsenal tonight will be his mind, and he has said that to us over and over. He thinks he knows what Tito's going to do. He's ready to attempt to counter.
Well, brain versus brawn, and the one thing that I liked about Elvis is he really took a long time scouting out Tito Ortiz, and he says, I picked up some habits. And I looked right at him and I said, you're talking about a takedown, aren't you? And he said, yeah. And I said, what about the stand-up? And he goes, I want Tito to stand up. That'll allow me to kick. And what he meant by that is as he throws the kick, Tito's inevitably probably going to grab one of them. And when he grabs one of those kicks, that's the opportunity for Tito to take him down. And that's what Elvis wants. He wants the ground game.
My body's starting to shake. You can feel the momentum. And this building's starting to get ready for a title fight. Tito Ortiz, Elvis Sinosic.
The light heavyweights are 26 and 30 years old respectively. 1 inch separates them, 4 pounds. Tito at 204 is dangerous. For the official introductions, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening, presented by Gordon Bierce Brewing Company. Beer like it ought to be. This championship bout is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board with John J. Farmer Jr., Attorney General, Gerald Gormley, Chairman, Stephen Katz and Reverend Francis E. Schiller, members, and Mr. Larry Hazard, Commissioner. And now, it's time to begin the 5-round battle for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. Let's begin with the challenger standing to my left. He is a jiu-jitsu expert, an Australian Vale Tudo Open champion, and a Pan-Pacific Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion. Standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 200 pounds, fighting out of Sydney, Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the King of Rock and Rumble, Elvis Sinosic. And the fighter standing to my right, he is a submission fighter with a UFC record of 6-2. Standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 204 pounds. He is the UFC Light Heavyweight Champion of the World. People, please welcome the bad boy from Huntington Beach, California, Tito.
Tito's last 2 fights have lasted less than 2.5 total minutes. Title on the line, and our referee, Big John McCarthy.
All right, gentlemen, Light Heavyweight Championship of the World, you ready? Are you ready? Let's get on!
Light Heavyweight title fight is underway. Sinosic takes a knee. Sinosic avoids a knee.
He's got to stay out of that clinch. Tito's way too strong in the clinch.
Elvis slipped there.
Pulled his distance.
Down. Oh, there's a right. Glances off the face of Tito Ortiz.
He's got to step off and kick. Tito's got way too much punching power coming down that pipe.
He's listening to you, Frank. It's like the third fighter right after you said it, did it.
Tito's kicks are often overlooked, aren't they, Frank?
Oh, he took one there.
He got him, and Tito drives right in.
And back to wrestling.
And there is what Elvis Sinosic would like to do. Bring it down to the ground game. Now, Tito's a good wrestler, we know that, but toe-to-toe, Elvis does not want to play with Tito.
He doesn't, and you saw when the punches got exchanged, he was looking for a way out. Tito's coming with a lot of power. But Elvis threw that kick, he threw it with power and authority, and he forced the takedown.
Certainly did, that's his whole game. And what you said, Frank, when you're unafraid, when you got nothing to lose, throw big because you end up where you want.
Why not? Why not? You're going to go all the way.
I agree. Now let's see what Tito will do. He's good at ground and pound. But he needs to be careful because those legs of Sinosic are long, and if he cinches a lot and starts extending, it's an awful lot of leverage.
Well, he's very, very slick. He's a very mental fighter, as we have talked about frequently here this evening. And he thinks he knows what Tito's going to try to do.
Tito went for a great pass there. Elvis totally brought himself back in the guard exactly where he wanted to be.
Elvis says, my mind and my heart is what makes me the fighter I am today. Tito, as we've talked about, the maturation process since April of 2000, when he first won what was then the vacant UFC Middleweight Championship, defeating Vanderlei Silva back in April of 2000 in Tokyo, Japan.
We talked about studying fighters and figuring out what they're missing. Tito never passes to the right. This is something I figured out when I fought him. I never told anyone. I didn't tell everything.
Told millions of
people. He never passes to the right. And I don't know if Elvis picked on that bit. But both times, Elvis has gone to the left, got to make his pass.
Tito trying to work some ground and pound here. And he's loading up the big right hand on Elvis Sinosic. Sinosic seems at this point no worse for wear. But Tito's really trying to tee off expending a lot of energy in the process.
He's using a lot of juice.
Now he tells us conditionally he can go forever as he tries the combinations on Elvis Sinosic. Damaging so far, scoring big here in round 1.
And this is what everyone wondered, was Sinosic's defense in the guard enough to stop the onslaught of Tito Ortiz? The ferocity of the champion evident there in that exchange.
Tito back to his basic foundation and a little ground and pound. He has become so much more than that, but you never forget what you possessed early.
Forearm.
A wide array of
Gotta get that arm up.
working on Elvis Sinosic. Combinations and combinations again. Sinosic is in trouble here in round 1.
Looking at his eyes, he looks sharp. It doesn't look like it's hurting him.
There's one that cut him. That elbow cut him. The forearm of Tito Ortiz. McCarthy's in. He's going to stop the fight. Tito Ortiz, the Huntington Beach bad boy, has held on to his belt.
Overpowering. That's what that is. Overpowering.
And certainly smart. Not only just fists, but he started using forearm and elbow there, arcing shots. You could stop the hand, but he couldn't stop the elbow. And Tito Ortiz, the champion, continues to demonstrate why he won't relinquish that belt. He continues to improve. And Frank, you know, when you keep getting better, it just enhances your physical qualities.
It does, and it enhances your confidence. And there was the elbows that got him. He came in heavy with those. And you can see right away, Elvis, he didn't want those elbows anymore.
Big John McCarthy in right away. Good side gash on top of Elvis Sinosic's forehead.
There's a secondary cut. He came in, elbow punch combination, elbow punch combination, completely overpowering.
Well, the king of rock and rumble got roughed up and overpowered by Tito Ortiz. In the guard, but damage being done.
Big damage. Big damage. Lefts, rights, forearms, elbows.
Hey, you like the upset, Frank, but I'll tell you one thing. Right now, Tito Ortiz is truly the real deal.
He sure is, and he took care of the underdog. I gotta tell you that.
Tito Ortiz will hold on to his light heavyweight belt, and he thinks he's going to hold on to that belt for a very long time. Bruce Buffer with the official decision. And our
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner due to referee stoppage at 3 minutes 32 seconds of the very first round. For the winner, and still the UFC Light Heavyweight Champion of the World, the bad boy from Huntington Beach, California, Tito Ortiz.
Frank Fertitta, Lorenzo Fertitta, the leaders of Zuffa, rewarding Tito Ortiz, who has the belt put right back around his waist by Larry Hazard, the commissioner of the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board.
Impressive victory by Ortiz. And if he continues to get better, I can't emphasize that enough. I mean, his physical qualities is called genetic freak. Then you add to that knowledge and intelligence, and he showed some good patience early on. Really didn't blow himself out trying to take Elvis out, and he started using those effects more and more effectively and efficiently, and that led to that onslaught. Multiple strikes leading to the cut, leading to the stoppage of the fight. Well, Tito's shape is also incredible.
No question. And I'll tell you, Elvis, the one thing he was concerned about is that the size and power of Tito would be overwhelming. And in the end, it was, as Elvis loses to the champion, Tito Ortiz, with James Wormy.
Thank you very much, Mike. Happy to congratulate Tito Ortiz, our light heavyweight champion of the world, successfully retains his belt tonight. Congratulations, champ.
What'd I tell you? Don't blink. This shit's gonna be over quick.
You wanted to take it to him hard, you wanted to take it to him fast, you wanted to throw some punches. You feel like you've accomplished all those things tonight?
Yes, I didn't get accomplished a lot of my stand-up, but I said to hell with it. He didn't feel that strong. I thought I'd take him to the ground. I mean, I do jiu-jitsu all the time, so I know what's on the ground that anybody tries to bring me. I want to thank Saldinha from Brazil for helping me out with the triangle. He's the one who helped me out, so when it's on the ground, I had a bit of confidence. I'm going to roll it each through every single one of these guys, man. Better watch out, because Tito Ortiz pissed off.
Pissed off is a bad way to see Tito Ortiz. Tito, we're going to take a look at the end of the fight here. Why don't you take us through it?
I just raining shots on him. I hit him with one shot, and I heard him go, ah. So that's when I just thought, all right, well, I'm raining blows on him. I got enough cardio to go for 20 minutes straight. I hit him with an elbow, perfectly on the forehead, cut him up in real deep cut, and so I just started welling and getting shots in on that cut. So that's how I finished it. Each one of the guys that put me in here against, you guys better be scared, man, because I'm going to hurt you bad. You want to come and fight Tito Ortiz, you're going to get hurt.
You know, Tito, a lot of people don't know just how much work and just how much commitment you have to this sport. I know, I've seen you train, and I couldn't believe the type of effort you're putting out. Why don't you let people know just what kind of effort Tito Ortiz is putting out on a daily basis to retain that belt and make sure he never loses it?
On a daily basis, I train 7 days a week, 8 hours a day. I do 2 hours of boxing, 2 hours of kickboxing, 2 hours of jiu-jitsu, 2 hours of wrestling, an hour of running, an hour of lifting weights. This is every day that I do this. I'm here to make a mark. I'm here to show everybody out there, man, you put your mind, you can achieve anything, and that's what I'm setting goals. And you know what? These keep going on stepping stones. I just can't wait to get to Las Vegas. Out there in Vegas, we're coming, baby.
Tito Ortiz successfully retains his light heavyweight championship of the world. Congratulations, Tito. Hang on.
All right, I want to thank all my sponsors for one. Rodman Entertainment, Spankies, Shot Shoes, Johnny Sway Clothing, all the guys that make it happen for here. Dave Thompson Speedwear, all you guys that make it happen for me to make an easy job. Each time I'll keep producing, keep bringing those lightweight heavyweights, man, because I'm going to keep stomping them.
Team Punishment real happy over here. Let's check in with Frank.
Well, I'm here with Elvis. Elvis, you got a nasty cut on your head. You fought your heart out. You got huge balls. I never doubted you. I picked you as the winner of this fight.
Thanks,
I know
Frank.
you're bummed.
Tito's a great fighter, an awesome champion. I knew what he was coming out to do. I was ready to handle him on the feet. I did a lot of stand-up with world-class kickboxers, and I felt I really held my own up there. I just haven't had enough experience up against the fence, and when he caught me against the fence, I was comfortable for a while until he started opening up. He landed some really good shots, nothing that really hurt me or dazed me, but he put in a big, beautiful elbow, which opened up a cut. Got into my eyes, I couldn't see what was happening, and from there, there's not much I could do when you can't see where it's coming from.
Well, you're a smart man, and you're probably one of the most technical fighters out there.
Thank you.
How did you feel about the power, the aggression? Did it affect you at all?
You know, I could make excuses and say, yeah, he beat me because he was bigger and stronger, but he wasn't. On the night, he was the better fighter. I knew he was coming in bigger and stronger, and that's what I trained for. If I let that get in the back of my head, then I'd lost the fight before I got in the octagon. That's not the case. He was the better fighter on the night, and that's why he won.
Elvis, you are a class act, my friend, and I'm proud to be standing here next to you in the octagon. And win, lose, or draw, I will always watch you fight.
Thank you, I appreciate it, and I hope the fans enjoyed the fight.
Thanks, guys. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much. Joined over here by two very big Tito Ortiz supporters, Fred Durst, Dennis Rodman. We'll start with you, Fred. Pretty big night for the champ, pretty good night for the champ.
This man is the champ. There is no other champ. I love this guy, and I'll never doubt him.
Let's turn it over to you, Dennis. It's the first time we've seen you here at a UFC. Did you enjoy your evening, and what do you think of the champ?
Yeah, it's one of my fighters tonight. He did a great job tonight, even though that, it was a little short fight. But we'd like to thank everybody here in New Jersey. I'm from Trenton, New Jersey, so, it's all love here, baby.
It's all love. It's all about the champ retaining his title. Mike, back to you.
He is awesome. He displayed his talents again tonight. He is the light heavyweight champion. He right now is the most recognizable figure in the UFC and perhaps in the world of mixed martial arts. He is Tito Ortiz, and he was overpowering, and the fans have gotten bigger and larger in stature, evidenced by Dennis Rodman. What a night it was. Overwhelmed was Yuki Kondo by the big Russian from Belarus, Monashenko. A night with many beauties. Carmen Electra was here this evening to watch Fabiano Iha and Carl Uno. And Uno was #1 this evening. The Donald in town. He's hosted a few events. He was a guest this evening, and he was impressed. impressed with Pat Miletich. Miletich's camp said, hey Pat, use a kick. He did. He finished Shoney Carter. And he will get another chance to fight against Carlos Newton. More sights, more sounds, like the sound of a finish and the sound of a knee that hit Dean Thomas. BJ Penn, the revolution, that's what Frank Shamrock says. Carmen was electric, the building was electric for the entrance of Tito Ortiz and the exit of Elvis Sinosic. Tito remains the light heavyweight champion of the world. It is Tito's world right now. He is the owner of the belt. He is the owner of the pride. He is the owner of the fans. They love him, and we thank you for being part of UFC 32. Showdown in the Meadowlands. Tony D'Souza and Paul Rodriguez, and that was a quick bit of work by the winner. Let's see.
We are set for a matchup in the welterweight division between newcomer Paul Rodriguez and Tony D'Souza. Rodriguez, the athlete coming out of San Antonio, Texas.
My name is Paul Rodriguez. I'm 5'8", 169 pounds. I'm from Orlando, Florida. My style is valet Tito. My strengths are my conditioning and my punching power. I've never heard of the guy I'm fighting, and I really don't care who he is. I love to fight because I love the rush. I like to finish the fight early, but I'm definitely ready to go the distance.
Entering the octagon is a Valley Judo expert with a mixed martial arts record of 12-3. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 168 pounds. Fighting out of Orlando, Florida. Please welcome Paul Rodriguez.
Paul Rodriguez. Rodriguez set to make his UFC debut.
And Rodriguez said he's a hard puncher. He certainly carries a big right hand. He's good at submissions and has an edge in experience.
Paul Rodriguez, born in San Antonio, fighting now out of Orlando. His opponent, Tony D'Souza.
My name is Tony D'Souza. I'm from Lima, Peru. I fight out of Las Vegas now. I'm 6 foot, 169 pounds. I'm 1-0 in the UFC. The UFC is the ultimate proving ground. I've been waiting 7 years to fight in the UFC, and my time has finally come. I'm gonna give it my all, and I fully expect to win.
His opponent, now entering the octagon, is a jiu-jitsu expert with a mixed martial arts record of 3-0. Standing 6 feet tall and weighing in at 169 pounds, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Please welcome Tony D'Souza.
D'Souza debuting in the UFC. The last time we gathered, won a unanimous decision over Steve Berger and nicely utilized his wrestling skill that evening.
That's right, and Tony D'Souza is a great wrestler. He's got good, solid takedowns. He likes to ground and pound, and he's trained in submissions, and he's worked really hard on his stamina.
So the former Pac-10 wrestling champion and 3-time NCAA Division I qualifier, Tony D'Souza, set to take on Paul Rodriguez. Tail of the tape for our welterweight feature matchup here tonight. Both are 26 years old. D'Souza is 6 foot tall, so a reach advantage there. The weight will not be a factor.
Man
for the time.
What
John,
a wonderful
where's the
evening tonight.
timekeeper?
The Continental Airlines Arena, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Our referee for this matchup, Mario Yamasaki.
Hey guys, look at here. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Here we go, Rodriguez in the gold trunks and D'Souza in the black trunks. And this evening is officially underway.
Paul Rodriguez has to be feeling confident. Big right hand against Hallman. Certainly considered a contender in this weight division. And he knocked him out.
You're absolutely right about the reach advantage, though. Look at the reach that Tony D'Souza's got.
Watch your guillotine.
Tony's ground skills displayed excellently when we first saw him in the UFC ring.
He does. He came out strong. He came out, used his wrestling. You see he's using it right here. Keeping the head in the center. He's not letting him drive forward. He's got him down.
D'Souza working with John Lewis and Skipper Kelp. And Rodriguez sees D'Souza try to work him on the mat here in the early part of the matchup.
And that's a weird front choke that Tony really likes. He gets in deep like that. You see him throw his legs up. He try to wrap him up and choke him. Here he goes again.
Trying to get that in and finish it quickly.
Switch off to a guillotine here.
Oh my!
He's got the choke though. He's got the choke.
Can he land it?
Guillotine.
Can he land it? Rodriguez,
he got it. Got it right away.
Rodriguez taps in, it is over. Another impressive showing for Tony D'Souza, who wins quickly by submission.
It was impressive. As soon as Rodriguez tried to pick him up, he switched from what was a front headlock in wrestling terms, where you entrap the arm with the head, to strictly a guillotine choke, sunk it in deep, arched backwards, and once he straightened out, pressure was tough.
It was. It was a perfect adaptation from wrestling. He used the sprawl to set him up on the front choke, and you see he got that arm, he got the head. Rodriguez with a big lift trying to get out of that. But you see that hand under his chin, he's stuck. That's where the hold really set in. Right there.
That's a lot of pressure on the neck there.
That's a lot of pressure.
D'Souza set it up from the very beginning, Jeff.
He did, with this front headlock, and Frank was aware of D'Souza trying this funky move there, using the front headlock with the legs to start a choke, but as soon as Rodriguez went to lift him, he switched to a guillotine, and right there, that's total pressure on the neck. He's unable to get any air in and clearly tapping out.
Now the tap out and the decisive victory for Tony D'Souza. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 1 minute and 13 seconds of the very first round. Winner by tap out due to a guillotine choke. For the winner, Tony D'Souza.
So D'Souza in just 1 minute and 13 seconds ups his UFC record to 2-0, ups his mixed martial arts record up to 4-0. Here's James Wormy.
Thank you very much, Mike. Joined by a victorious Tony D'Souza, successful in your second UFC appearance. It's got to feel good, Tony.
Feels great. I just want to thank John Lewis. I want to thank Kickboxing Academy, Javier Mendez, and BJ Penn, Mark Laitman, etc. Everybody at JSEC.
Pretty quick fight. Did you think it was going to be that quick a fight? Were you able to put in your game plan immediately?
I was looking for the choke. I studied him, and I saw that he kept his head up in the whole time, so I went for it.
Let's take a look at the replay here. Take us through it, Tony.
I was just really torquing it, you know. He's real strong. He just stayed up. I didn't think he was going to tap, but he did.
He did indeed. Tony D'Souza 2-0 in the UFC. Mike, back to you.
James, thank you very much. D'Souza in just 1 minute and 13 seconds. He looked for the choke early. Frank, he was able to get it against Paul Rodriguez.
Not only get it, he sunk it in deep. I know you're disappointed, Paul. You just told me how hard you train and how you feel, how disappointing it is. But you went on out there. I saw how relaxed you were. You're ready to throw bombs. What do you do?
I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm kind of frustrated right now, but maybe I was too relaxed. Maybe when he started sinking the choke in, I wasn't even worried. I standed up and pulling his arm down, and he started moving it up and got it on my chin, and that was it, and it was so frustrating.
Well, it got you tight. The game is about submission. You got submitted. You're gonna come back though, right?
I hope so, man. I'm gonna come back even harder. I didn't even get a chance to get loose tonight. I'm so frustrated. I give Tony all the credit in the world. I mean, he sank it in. I was fighting, I just couldn't breathe, and that's it.
You're a warrior, my brother. We'll see you back soon, okay? Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Frank. Tony D'Souza is undefeated in his UFC career. He has upped his record to 2-0, and it took just 73 seconds.
Entering the octagon, he is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu and wrestling expert with a mixed martial arts record of 5-1. Standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 246 pounds. Fighting out of Huntington Beach, California. Please welcome Ricco Pretty Boy Rodriguez.
Ricco Rodriguez, born in Staten Island, now working out on the West Coast with the light heavyweight champion Tito Ortiz in his camp, and the former champion Mark Kerr tonight in his corner.
Ricco Rodriguez is very good at submissions. He's competed in Abu Dhabi. He's done very well down there. He's good at controlling on the ground. He's good at ground and pound. And he's trained with top fighters. Like you said, he's training with Tito Ortiz. He's training with the best.
A ground specialist who likes arm bars against a man who can throw heavy leather. The Russian, Andrei Arlovski.
My name is Andrei Arlovski. I'm from Minsk, Belarus. I'm 22 years old. I'm 6'3", 240 pounds. My style in sambo and kickboxing. I'm all business.
Entering the octagon is a sambo and kickboxing expert with a mixed martial arts record of 5-1. Standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 237 pounds, and fighting out of Minsk, Belarus. Please welcome Andrei Arlovski.
At UFC 28, Arlovski defeated Aaron Brink in just 54 seconds with an armbar. But this is a man who can throw them and throw them well.
He certainly can. He's good at submissions, coming from that sambo background. That's a particular art trained in Russia. He's worked on his striking ability, and he said he needed to improve his striking to be successful in the octagon. And overall, he's a very, very good athlete. Loves to play soccer.
Now, one of his training partners, Andre Tuko, who won the K1 U.S. Kickboxing Championship. So stand-up might be the X factor tonight. Does Arlovski have it? And is it good enough to defeat Ricco Rodriguez? Tail of the tape, two youngsters, a 22 and a 23-year-old, and size will not be a factor here in this heavyweight matchup.
All right, gentlemen.
We are set to get it underway.
You ready? You ready? All right, let's do this. Come on.
Arlovski and Rodriguez.
Well, we never had a good shot at seeing what Arlovski can bring into the octagon because he ended it with an armbar in 54 seconds against Brink. So how good is he?
I really like the way he's on his toes. Look at how fast he is going to be on his toes.
Rodriguez looks to shoot.
Oh, my.
There was no setup for that double leg there.
Oh, my.
Arlovski seems to be able to counter it pretty well with his hips, but up against the fence now, Rodriguez will have an opportunity to drop his hands down and try to rip the hips out.
Well, Rodriguez certainly doesn't want to stand up.
He does. He's working hard to get him to the ground. You see him trying to rip that right leg of his out there. He's laying his weight on him. That's what we keep talking about. He's laying on the guy, holding up that weight.
And he's got him pinned right because he's got his head on the right side of Arlovski, which is keeping it pinned. Otherwise, Arlovski would try to circle out that way, and he certainly can't circle into the post in the corner.
Well, I think he's using his weight right now. Ricco laying on him, 255 pounds. That's going to wear on you.
So he's waiting for Arlovski, I think, to make a move here and then maybe whip the legs out. But he now let go of the legs.
He's sliding that double under. It looks like he's trying to get double underhook. Gain control.
Looking to control the hips now. Yeah. He's trying to reach in the lift.
Come out! Roland, come out!
Arlovski's smart though. He's sitting into the fence and using the fence almost like a wall.
Come out!
Trying to get himself set. Turning the knees and dropping it. Dropping that weight. Oh, he's got him up!
And he got him down with a big slam! And they're right back up though. Rodriguez took him down, did not keep him down though. And they are back on their feet. A statement early here in round number 1.
I think that reversal just changed the fight right there.
It's going to make Ricco think a couple times now going under. But that was a big drop on Arlovski, but he was prepared for it, rode through, did a nice counter, came up standing.
Arlovski, we talked about his striking. He tries to sprawl away from the takedown of Ricco Rodriguez.
That's a nice technique. Sprawl and follow up with the hook.
Rodriguez 3-0 in the Pride Championship. Eats a right there from Arlovski. And you talked about his success in Abu Dhabi, Frank.
I did. He is a great, he has really figured out the submission game. Although he prefers the ground and pound in fighting, he's still,
there's a big right. They're both throwing. We talk submissions, which is what we think Rodriguez wants. And he went toe-to-toe for 30 seconds there with the big man from Minsk, Belarus.
And I have to say that's a mistake, throwing against a fighter that throws that straight and is on his toes in that balance.
He survived it once again. Double underhooks up against the fence, using his size and weight to hold Arlovski there. And he's trying now, I think, just to find a way from this clinch, to find a way to get the takedown and start working on the ground. But Arlovski's got tremendous hips. Good sprawl, good balance.
And down they go again. This time they will stay down. Minute 42 remains in round number 1.
And a reversal by Rodriguez.
Rodriguez in the half guard of Andre Arlovski. And this is already longer than it took Arlovski to finish Aaron Brink. So now tonight, maybe the night we get to see him display more of his potential talent.
This is where Ricco is really comfortable. The side mount, the half guard. He can relax, he can set his weight down, and he can do his work.
I like what he said as he walked into the ring on the vignette we showed. He said, I'm going to take him down and ground and pound. And with Mark Kerr in his corner, that's a technique we have seen successful for this camp before.
Well, at the weigh-ins this morning, he said he woke up dreaming about being in an armbar. So he slept well last night, apparently.
There's the knee bar. There's the knee bar.
Can he get it? Can he lock it in?
Almost straight.
Rodriguez trying to lock it in and finish the fight.
Clear that other leg, and he's got to get a big hug on that.
Arlovski seems calm here, Frank.
He seems relaxed. He's a sambo guy. He knows this move. I think with Ricco, he's got to get his feet together. He's got to pull the knees up and get more power in his hips. If he wants that hold, he's got to get his feet together and overpower that leg.
And Arlovski did a nice job of countering. Ricco returns to inside Arlovski's guard.
And the fans, well educated on the sport of mixed martial arts, react to Arlovski avoiding a bit of trouble here in round number 1. Final 10 seconds.
Well, gutsy move. Full mount.
Full mount, but he's going to run out of time here in round number 1. Full mount, he gets it, eats a right, and the horn will sound. So he works to the full mount, but he ran out of time in round number 1.
Giving instruction to Ricco Rodriguez. And early on, Rodriguez did finally get Arlovski's hips. You can see him straining in there, gets him in the air, but he could not control the landing. Arlovski bridging hard, able to roll it through and get back to the standing position.
Check out this knee bar attempt. He fully sets it up, throws the leg all the way over, and right there, he's got him. You see, immediately started kicking the arms out, trying to block that leg.
Arlovski looks good there. Seems calm, relaxed, not too tired. Same with Ricco Rodriguez.
Ready? Ready? All right, let's do this. Come on.
Round 2 underway. The guard was passed at the end of round 1. Could that be a bit of foreshadowing for what we may see in round 2? Although Arlovski, when Rodriguez had him mounted there in those final 5 seconds or so of round number 1, was able to bury a right into the chin of Ricco Rodriguez. Good first round with a couple of variety of things. We saw a big slam, we saw the full mount for a couple of seconds, and we saw a submission attempt. Good kick by Arlovski. And a high kick that misses from Ricco Rodriguez.
That made a statement to Rodriguez. It definitely affected him.
Arlovski has Sambo in his blood, but kickboxing in his heart now. And he tries to work the right and just missed. There's a combination.
Nice combo.
And Arlovski again buries the right. Now a knee back from Rodriguez. And he steps away. Arlovski trying to close the distance quickly. Arlovski looks. Rodriguez swings and misses with the left.
Ricco has slowed way down.
Arlovski took some good shots at Ricco's head. A couple of them found their mark, and the shots are no longer having. There's a big round.
And another. And Rodriguez is stunned. Arlovski's catches win. Up he comes.
He's got his number. Ricco's tired.
Yep. And Ricco's in trouble.
Oh, and he even turned his back there after that kick.
He knows it.
He's tired. He knows.
But he has to be careful. Just wait for his spot. Rodriguez tries to drive forward. And he does. That's the best thing that could happen to Ricco Rodriguez, was to bring this down to the mat right now, Frank, as fatigued as he was, because toe-to-toe, he was in big trouble.
Totally, and you saw how he got in that time. He threw blows. That's how he got inside. Backing away like that, you cannot get in there. He's going to see it coming.
It used to be you were just a wrestler, just a jiu-jitsu man, just a boxer. Now you see punches setting up a takedown. The evolution of this sport is unbelievable.
Ricco's taking his time on top, regrouping, gathering. Arlovski really unable to move there with the head pinned in the middle of the chest up against the octagon.
Tito Ortiz, our light heavyweight champion, will defend his title tonight with John Lewis in the corner of Ricco Rodriguez. Rodriguez, the pride standout, as we mentioned before, has trained in Tokyo with Sakuraba, one of the greatest fighters in the world, the only American member of the Takata Dojo team. So impressive credentials, Ricco Rodriguez. His only loss in mixed martial arts came at the hands of Bobby Hoffman, a UFC veteran.
Wow.
Arlovski settling into a half guard now against Rodriguez. He turned to it. And he's up against the fence, which is not the best place to be when you're on the bottom.
It's not. He's in a hole. He's got a big guy on top of him. He needs to use that wall and push off of it to get himself readjusted.
Yeah, he's starting to angle his head back in now, Frank. He's hearing you.
He's hearing me. Well, we got Tito in his corner. I think he's doing just fine.
Now, when we talked about this fight this afternoon, guys, we said the difference could be the stand-up, and it almost was the difference in round number 2. And now Rodriguez seems to have perhaps regained some of the momentum here as the fight has taken it to the mat.
Rodriguez has been big in his past performances, upwards of 300 pounds, and now he's down, he's leaner. You would think that equates to better conditioning. And of course, anytime you get stunned, fatigue starts to go out the window.
It is, and we talked about that fear factor. You know, previously, you're scared of getting hit, and getting hit takes a lot more energy out of you then. He didn't look all that confident on his feet, but he was throwing them.
There's a right. In the half guard, trying to work the ground and pound here.
Ricco should use that punch-punch combination to advance to the mount. He looked like he was going to do some
damage. And he just did. Yep, he just did. And now he's got 48 seconds for which to work.
Arlovski looks like he's going to hang on to the head and try to keep the distance closed between them for no punching room.
Arlovski's not setting up his feet to bridge. He's not tying up the feet. That's going to let Ricco really come up high and unload on him if he's not careful.
Ricco comes down with a elbow and another forearm. Nice job. And now Arlovski trying to get the close to work in his advantage again.
Here comes that armbar. He's setting him up for an armbar. Elbow,
right there. Yeah, he almost went for it, Frank.
Now he's got his back.
He's got his back, he's only got 10 seconds to do it.
Time of factor again here in round 2. And spinning back out of it, Arlovski. What a chess match.
Good on the ground game.
Unbelievable that round number 2 ends in an identical fashion to round number 1.
I'm just wondering if this is a game plan. Is he just sucking the life out of him to set him up?
Both times, Ricco Rodriguez at the end of the round seemed to be in a position of dominance. And that time he actually started to unload on the ground and pound game, but never got it.
Wow, Ricco Rodriguez seemed to be in trouble for a moment, but he worked through it nicely.
Rodriguez was in trouble. Arlovski in the standing position. He takes that double leg attempt. Arlovski's hip simply crushed the shot down. And there, following up, nice right hand, and you saw the head snap back. But at the end, there, nice right hand by Ricco Rodriguez on top. Pays Arlovski back, and it was Rodriguez in positional advantage at the end of that round. He just ran out of time.
And if we work our way to a judge's decision, fighters will tell you how you open in the first 15 seconds of a round or finish. The last 15 seconds leaves indelible impressions. Big opening here, and the left kick just missed from Andre Arlovski.
I think Arlovski was listening to you because he came to that impression right there.
Man, and that will put him in the lead here.
Straight right.
And it reached.
Rodriguez hit him with a nice straight right. And
again.
And a knee.
And now a knee.
That took a lot out of him. Arlovski just went soft.
Side mount.
He's going to get full mount here in a minute.
Working the knees now, Frank, staying busy.
Working the knees to the side of that body, but there he goes. That's what he needs. That's where he was doing damage.
Arlovski didn't seem to even try to stop the full mount.
And the clock will not be a factor this time.
I don't think so. And he's talking about his feet again. He's not prepared. He's not getting out of that. He's not prepared. He needs to tie up those feet and grab one of his arms and get ready to bridge.
Nearly an arm attempt there. I mean, as he's sticking that arm straight, bridging off, Rodriguez can seize it and look to armbar.
There he comes. He's circling around. He's moving and circling.
Yeah, he's trying to get his feet.
Nice punch. Good right hand.
Continuously working the right. And those are connecting. Continuously working on his opponent. Andre Arlovski. Combination. Right left explosion.
And that's going to go.
And it's all over. It's all over. Ricco Rodriguez is victorious. How good is that?
Rodriguez said he came and it was important to impress in his debut in the octagon. And certainly with that finish, Frank, it was impressive.
The first 2 times he gained full mount, time in the round expired. That time, the time was against Andre Arlovski, and it became only a matter of time until this fight concluded.
Rodriguez certainly was the better on the ground, passing the guard, getting into a position where he could ground and pound, and he was effective.
Tito Ortiz pleased with the performance of Ricco Rodriguez.
Big right hand, man. Got him high up on the head. Well, that's definitely what hurt him. That's definitely what softened him up.
And once he had him on the ground, Frank, that right hand now just started landing, and Arlovski could not really find an intelligent defense here, and Mason White breaks it up.
So Mason White doing a great job jumping in, stopping the fight for the official word. Let's go to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 1 minute and 23 seconds of the 3rd round. For the winner, by referee stoppage, Ricco Ritty Boy Rodriguez.
Ricco Rodriguez takes it to the 3rd round and wins.